this is Tracy. I have a layout and process to share with you. And right now I have that diagonal striped, that's a Studio Calico paper from their classic collection. I don't end up using it. I use a different paper for the background from that same collection. And then the other papers here are a little bit of a mix-up from a couple of different Studio Calico kits, and I have just little bits left. I actually, after I was done with this layout, I put all of it together except the only kit that I have separate now since I started getting them is the April. That one I still have not, so I guess technically I have killed all my other kits. And I went with this gray for the background from that book that I have of 6x6, or that's 8x8. And I'm gonna layer these. Well, first I'm gonna cut out these hearts. This little heart punch I got actually at a scrapbook yard sale kind of a thing at my local scrapbook store. They had a sale, and so I got that punch for $2. And it's cutting jagged on one little spot, and as I'm working here I'm thinking I need to cut some tinfoil with this to sharpen it. I also go through the trouble of cutting off the jagged edge on these hearts, but then I end up distressing them with the Tim Holtz. So it's kind of funny, but that's just, I really did not have a plan at all for this page. I knew I wanted it to be very loving, and I knew that I wanted the title to somehow express my admiration for my mom and love, because this is a picture of me with my mom. But other than that, I didn't really have a plan. And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to put behind these hearts? Because I wasn't thinking it was enough alone. And I think this is when I realize I'm going to go ahead and distress them. Yeah, and unfortunately I did not think to turn the camera off. So one at a time, I'm over my little trash can, distressing them because it makes such a mess. So this picture, this layout in the end, I don't end up journaling on this layout because I like it the way it looks when I'm done, and I did not want to sort of mess that up, or I just didn't feel like there was a place where I wanted to put journaling. And I have this particular vacation that we took. It was a camping vacation in Mammoth, and we had so much fun, and we did a lot of different things, and I took literally hundreds of pictures, and I probably had a third of them developed. I don't know, I would have to look, but I have a lot of pictures from this vacation, and I haven't put them in any album or anything. I have them set aside because I knew I wanted to scrapbook a lot of them. I actually made a mini album for my mom with them as well already, and she loved that. That was fun to make for her. But so I decided I can't possibly scrapbook them all. I'm, as you could see if you look in my information that on YouTube, that I'm very behind on my scrapbooking, which I'm all right with that because I love to scrapbook and I love to look at my old pictures of my kids when they were younger and stuff. But here I'm coming up with a way that I want to put these, and I'm gluing them down because I'm going to sew them, and that keeps them stable but not too much glue. I just use that little zig pin to Just give a little touch of glue so that it doesn't goop up my needle here. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is put scrapbook pages, and then I'm going to put 12 by 12 sheets that have places where I can just put pictures as well in between scrapbook pages. So it's going to be a photo album and a scrapbook album all in one. And then I'm going to, in one of those little pockets next to this picture, I'm going to journal there. That's my plan. Sorry, that was an email coming in. I'm sure you can hear that on this. So I am not going to journal on this page, and now I'm cutting out hearts because that's just plain old white cardstock, and I'm sort of creating my own mask. Here I've put the two sections of sewed together hearts, kind of interlocked them, and I'm really happy with that. When I did that, I just had an moment. I love those moments. And so I'm going to spray here and that's my mask, and that's the Heidi Swap Shine Tropical Teal. And then 3 or something of those hearts I'm going to end up using over on the right hand corner with the tropical teal sprayed on them. Yeah, I end up using those, and I'm going to sew them on later. Okay, now I came up with this idea. I wanted to cut this thing anyway to sharpen it, and I realized, I'm going to crinkle those up and play with those a little bit and try and use them as sort of a what would you call that? Like a sponge, like you'd paint, like a stencil, but it's not really a stencil because the stencil is the other way. You're using the negative space. This I'm using the positive space, so it's more like using it like a sponge. But the reason why I did it on the tinfoil is because it doesn't soak up any of the paint, and it also won't come off onto the paper. Like paint, it gets wet and then it becomes sticky and it'll pull off some of the paper. So that's the first one. And that one I don't like as much because it had a little too much paint on it, but it works. It ends up working. But the other two I like more. I like that sort of a look where it's missing areas. And then I'm going to do one up in the corner here, and I think you're not going to, you can't see me doing it. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I was out of view. And I'm using that paper I love. See, this is what I love. I can get so messy. I'm a very messy scrapbooker. And here's a chunk of video that in the conversion somehow got a little, I don't know what happens here, but thankfully it's going to end in a little bit. And here I'm creating some layers for the pictures. And that's all papers from Studio Calico Kits. It's pretty much March and February, I believe. I'm using, I wonder if it could be January and February. Sorry about that. It's January, February, or March papers, and I don't know the names of most of them. That map one right there that is an Echo Park. I know that. And that one I don't know. I want to say that's my mind's eye because it's that thick kind of paper how they have. Okay, hopefully this damaged little portion ends soon. I think it does. I think I paused the camera when I sew again here. Now I'm gluing that down because I got brave with it. I really like the way those hearts came out. And those distress the edges as well, just like the hearts. Now I'm going to glue those down. Okay, I'm hoping the damaged part ends here soon. Yeah, that's where I paused. Yay, it's done. Because I was having problems with my thread, it got stuck. That is silver thread, and I bought this at Joann, but I got that idea from Mercy Tiara. I love the silver thread. So cute. And I think I got gold and maybe even bronze, and I haven't used those at all because I love the silver. That little ring is a Recollections little package of those that I got at Michael's, and that was purchased very recently, so I'm sure they still have those. And there's, I think they're supposed to make frames. They have little holes in them to, I think you can like use brads. They didn't come with brads to attach them together, but I wanted this one by itself, and I wanted it open in the back. Sorry about that, my head's in there. Now I'm using that red paint to splatter with my little toll painting splatter brush that I have. And I splattered the silver, which, by the way, that silver is the Martha Stewart glaze paint that I got at Home Depot. And this is a ribbon from one of the, I tried to use that fabric glue, and I had used that with the Girl Scouts a whole bunch, and I think it got left open, and so it was dry. Now I'm using my just tacky glue here, Aleene's or whatever it's called, which works great, but I didn't, as I'm going, I realized, oh yeah, I gotta glue the back. Here I am gluing the back now. And I was thinking the whole time, why didn't I just get my glue gun out, my hot glue? But it's alright, it works out. And now I'm using my little, I'm just using the punch as a weight. And I realize, okay, I need to let that sit for a little bit. So I put it aside. Now I'm going to punch out my POW paper and get some glittery hearts on here. That's where I want that ribbon to go. I'm doing the 3 little hearts is basically to cover that little hole, and I love the way it looked, so that was a blessing. And I'm using my tiny attacher to get those to attach the hearts, and now I have to open it up, and because it won't quite reach that heart. And I have to do the same over on these other spots, and then I gotta flip it over, and now I'm pushing the staples down, and I'm going to tape them with washi tape just to keep them from catching when I put them in the sleeves of the photo album. And now I'm gluing that down with the tacky, Aleene's tacky glue. And now I realize I need a couple more pop dots. I popped that up using my dollar store pop-up. That was a great find. The dollar store ones are quite thick. They're thicker than any other ones I have. So, you know, I mean, if you don't like them thick, then it's not a great find, but I like them. I don't always like them that thick, but I like right for this particular one, they were great. So here I'm cutting out a couple of hearts, trying to figure out what do I want, and I go with that map one. Sorry, it's out of frame. And I'm going to distress those 2 hearts too. There, I put a tiny attacher staple on that middle heart, and I'm going to glue those down a little bit here. And then I'm going to use a stick pin as well. After I've already glued, I realized, oh, that's right, I want, and that's on my mind's eye. I thought maybe I would do 3, but I end up with 1, and I like it. But the end of it is sticking out from my heart, so I get my little wire cutter and I cut the end off of that, which obviously need to be careful. Cutting that off, but so now I'm going to glue those down. I don't usually use that tacky glue for that sort of stuff, but it was there and easy. This is a little package of these little silver sort of enamel dot looking things that I got like in the clearance bin at Michael's. I believe it was Michael's. 99% sure it was Michael's. One of those things that I thought, oh, those are kind of cute. Yeah, sure, why not? You know, I think I got them for, I don't know, 50 cents or something. And I love them. They're great. But they are not, they have no adhesive on them, so you do have to add adhesive to them. But and then I put some enamel dots around too. These are letters from the kit. What is the name of those? I love those letters. They're, oh, yeah, I have them right here. Basic Gray True Love. And they came from the kit, but I love them. There's a ton of letters in there. I was worried because I've used them several times, I believe. So I thought, oh, I hope I have enough letters. You know, admiration's kind of a long word and whatever, but nope, plenty. And then the black glittery letters, those also came from a kit. And I've used those a ton of times. And then the little gray ones are a basic gray sheet. 6x12. And here I'm going to lay those down now. And my title is We Have a Mutual Love and Admiration, which is so true. I really love my mom. She's a neat person. Really special. And, you know, we vacation together and we do things together, and she comes to every single event of my kids that she can possibly get to, and so I'm very blessed. And here's my pictures and some close-ups. You can see the splatter there. And there's my hearts. And at the end I'm going to give you a close-up. I put some zigzag stitch along with the straight stitch. I like to do that. And almost done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and got some ideas. And take care. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching.